Good evening, and welcome to Where Are They Now on Discovrtv. I'm thrilled to be back. This is our second season, in case you didn't know. This is our 41st show, and I'm absolutely thrilled. We are bringing you every week interesting interviews with our legendary artists and other fascinating people, local and international. People who've been part of the music industry, our particular music industry, since time began. They share their journeys, they share their amazing experiences, and we are totally honored to hear their stories, especially where are they now. So tonight's guest, he is a gentleman, and I don't say gentleman lightly. This man has always been humble, considerate, and downright kind to everyone he works with. His songs are amazing. His contribution to the music business has been huge. So with no more ado, we'd like to welcome today Mick Matthews. Hello, Mick.
Hello, Cindy. Thank you. That sounds like somebody else you're talking about.
Not at all. I'm talking about you.
Thank
It's
you.
the truth. Mick, you've got a great reputation in this business. Everybody loves you. You're a good man, and you've always been, what's the word? Reticent about your career, and you're very quiet and humble. But damn it, you've done some amazing things. I mean, I want to just start with something totally left field. Normally, I start with questions. I was reading your book, and I found it so fascinating. The book is called I Started Out to Write a Song. Is that correct?
Correct.
I mean, and isn't that the truth? That bottom line, as a child, when we start, we either want to play an instrument or write songs or whatever it is. And you did. You started out to write a song. You ended up writing a book, and really you wrote a lot of hit songs over the years. Okay, now we can go back to the beginning. You're from the UK. Where did you grow up?
I'm from the Midlands of
Okay.
England, midway between Manchester and Birmingham,
Right.
a little place called Newcastle on the Lyme,
Okay.
which is on the edge of a big city called Stoke-on-Trent.
I've heard of Stoke-on-Trent. Big city indeed.
Well,
Stoke-on-Trent.
the
Yeah.
village I came from is on the edge of the town. So we're really village country Yoko, you know.
But that's fantastic. I mean, when you think about where most of the artists, the UK artists, grew up, either out in the country or down in some little ditchy little town. But that's what makes the music, hey? Gives you
Well,
the...
this town has a wonderful name, or the village, I should say, of Nutton, Knutton, Nutton.
Nutton.
I come from Nutton.
Nutton. I come from Nutton. I'm going to Nutton. But that's not true. You do not come
No,
from Nutton.
no.
Definitely no. I mean, did you come? There was something mentioned about the war, World War II. I mean, did you come out of that as a little
Well,
kid?
we're literally, my generation,
Yeah.
the first of the baby boomers. Literally the very first baby boom. We were born in 1946. And of course, the war ended in 1945.
45, exactly.
So every time I was in my growing years, I had to fill out a form or go to bureaucracy to make myself known. And they said, "When were you born?" I said, 1946. And the quip every time was, "Oh, first thing your father did when he put his kit back down." Every
Ain't that
time.
the truth? Well, yes, let's baby boom, because, of course, coming back from the war, all they wanted to do was snuggle up with the wifey and get things
You're
going,
welcome.
keep the heat going.
To what comes naturally.
Absolutely, and such a divine story. So, if that's what you are, you growing up in that live, like what's the word? It's almost like a pall hanging over everybody's heads because they don't know what's happening. Even though the war has finished, you still got to gather yourselves back together again. So you, as a little boy, what did you do? How did music start speaking to you?
Okay. It was a very difficult time. Immediately after the war, I was an infant, and of course, as the years went by, there's such things as food rationing, where only so much butter and sugar and things were available to a given family. So it was a real struggle time. Things got better gradually.
Yeah.
When I was 8.5, my father died from a work-related long illness.
Oh.
And at that time, there was such a thing in place as workman's compensation and insurance.
Yes.
So we had a little bit of money for the first time in our lives.
Wow.
And
Okay.
my brother went and bought a guitar. 1955, we're talking about.
Woo. I wasn't even born yet, Mick. 1955, yeah. And that
So
was the
that was
first
kind of-
guitar in the house.
Yeah, and I wasn't allowed to play it because this was his beauty, pride and joy. So I had
Yeah.
to sneak in behind the scenes when he wasn't around and catch up.
And you
Learn my
did.
guitar behind his back.
And when did you out yourself and say, listen, I can play?
I think he knew. I was
I'm
kidding
sure.
myself.
I'm sure he knew. We've got a photo of you with your first guitar. It's such a sweet photo. When you look at this, hey, look at that. I love
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, that's a little story in itself. I'm 15 years old there.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
talk to me
I was
about this photo.
short little fella.
Okay.
And I just started work as an apprentice in mechanical engineering. And
Okay.
each week I saved 2 and 6pence under the bed, if you like. No such thing as a bank in those days.
Yeah.
But and for those people who are interested, 2 and 6pence was 2 shillings and 6pence, and there was they call it half a crown.
25 cents.
Well, 8 half a crowns was £1,
Okay.
and that guitar there cost £14.
Oh my gosh.
So you can work it out. It was a year or so saving up or thereabouts.
Was that
And,
your brother's
eventually-
guitar? Was that your first guitar?
That was my first guitar.
It's an electric guitar.
It's called a Rossetti Lucky 7. Paul McCartney's
Okay.
first guitar was the same one, actually, as it turns out.
Wow. I love that. Rossetti 57. And you were 15, hey? And then what happened after that? What started going?
Well, then, of course, that was the time when TV became onto the scene in Britain, and we started seeing people playing live music on TV, guitars and things, and we're hearing these strange sounds. Electric guitar. Electric guitar is exactly the same age as myself, 1946.
Wow. I
That's
never
when the
knew.
electric guitar was invented. So this guitar started appearing on TV, and we saw these guys singing and playing. And the big favourite of the day was Lonnie Donegan.
Lonnie Donegan. I remember that.
He was singing with an acoustic guitar and a washboard, and people playing homemade instruments. And the whole of
Was it
Britain,
Irish?
including myself.
Yeah.
It was actually Scottish, but he was playing the Irish
Scottish.
kind of
But he was playing that Irish
country.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole of Britain just ran out and said, I can do that. I want to buy a guitar, and which we all did. That was the boom. That was where all the
music
guitar players
boom.
came from. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like,
From
let's
there-
talk about some of the guitar players that came from that time were.
Well, everybody you can think of. You know, even
Yes.
the Beatles like bad Lonnie
I was-
Donegan, and they were all playing Lonnie Donegan's tunes.
That's
Hank
it.
Marvin,
That's it.
Bert Weedon, these crazy
Wow.
guitar players who were very first in the line, very first guitar players we ever saw on TV. And we just
Wow.
sat in awe of these people. And slowly but surely, it's evolved into this boom for the Shadows, eventually the Beatles. And
That's
I was
it.
growing up watching these guys.
And didn't Hank Marvin play in the Shadows?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, with Cliff Richards. Play something. Come on.
I can't play the Shadows, man. Forget it.
You can play everything, Mick.
All I ever did as a kid, I sat on the front step and all these kids in the street came around the gate, and I was going. And so it went, and there was nothing else. And they all said, "Oh, Mickey Matthews can play the guitar," you know.
Well, you were a star in your yeah. You were an absolute star. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You got to start somewhere, Mick. So, first guitar, and then what? I mean, you're 15 years old. You got a guitar. You could play. Do you join a band? What do you start doing?
Okay, then. It was a very, very lucrative time. There was lots and lots of bands springing up literally overnight. Electric guitars it was a massive boom. And of course, they needed somewhere to play. All the pubs, all the clubs started having these bands playing around. And I wasn't old enough to go into these clubs at the time, but I'd stand outside and watch through the window, hold the door open and catch a few chords and things and sneak around. And until eventually I was old enough to kind of start meeting some of these people and talking about guitars. And of course, there was always adverts in the newspaper. Rhythm guitar player wanted. There was such a job as a rhythm guitarist.
There was a job like that, yes.
The Shadows. So I applied for rhythm guitar.
What?
Yeah.
In the Shadows?
No. But that was the idea.
Okay, good. Jeez. But
just like the Shadows.
Yes. So as you say, there were so many bands like that. That was the typical sound of the day. I just wanted to let you know, we've got people watching us, in case you didn't know. They send me messages to say hi. Christian Stein, he's always supportive. Thank you, Christian. Cashel O'Reilly. Hi, Cindy Alta and all. Okay, we've got Marion from Germany. She always watches us. Jade Beebe.
In fact, it's my daughter.
You see, she said, big time gentleman, good vibes, and that was true. And then hi to my friend Anthony, who lives in Palma, Mallorca in Spain. He always comes and says hi. He works with Robin Auld. They've got the publishing company, but he lives in Mallorca, lucky bastard. Let's say, how can South African artists be part of it? They are part of it. 100%. Robbie Williams is from the same place that you're from. Did you know that?
That's right. My claim to fame is that my mother lived around the corner, and my daughter and my sister all lived in the same territory. And every time they spoke to me, said, "Oh, do you know, Robbie Williams' mother lives around the corner from us."
Oh, wow.
My claim to fame.
That was it. There you go. Well, Gail knows everything about Robbie Williams.
There's your buddy Neil Solomon, huh, Neil?
Neil's there. Hey, Neil and Sin. Oh, how you, darling? Gail Brits, hi. Ask how Wilma Brits is. How's Wilma Brits?
How you, Wilma?
And Scott Engelbrecht. Hello, mate.
Scott
you
Engelbrecht,
are awesome. Wash
You've
hands.
got to know about this guy.
Tell me
Scott
about
Engelbrecht
this guy.
is a youngster, 10 years old, 11 years old now. Beautiful, beautiful singer. Like the Drakensberg Boys Choir caliber. Solo artist.
Love it.
I'm teaching him to play guitar at the moment, but he's a beautiful piano player and a wonderful singer, and he's got CDs of his own out. So watch out for Scott Engelbrecht.
Definitely, we'll be keeping an eye out for you, kiddo. And Dougie Ramage, my friend. Good evening, Cindy. Hi, Mick. Pleased to see you. Wesley Gazer. Hi, Wes. Happy to have you. And Neil and my entertainment page is there. Tony Gaza. Tony,
Gaza.
you lovely boy. Adele Thompson. Hi, Mick. Wilma told us to watch. Adele Thompson. So these people come on while we are. Dorothy Gorman. Go, Mick. Best musician ever. And ain't that the truth? Well, of course it's true. You know what? Why I said to you that you are so low-key and so humble and all that stuff. You've always played it very low-key. You don't talk about how good you are, and people know how good you are. You don't have to talk about it, Mick. Everybody knows how good you are. Okay?
Thank you.
And that's the truth. So head choppers were coming up slowly. But tell me who you were playing with in the UK before.
All right. Well, A Dead Giveaway
Big
was the name of
stuff.
my first band.
Yes.
It was called the Telstars.
Okay.
That tells you everything. This was a spaceship that went up into about early 60s, you know. So
They were all
it was
into that.
about 100 bands in Britain became known as the Telstars, and we were one of them, you know. So we were
Love it.
and so this is where I came in to play my role as a rhythm guitarist with the Telstars.
Okay.
And from there, I developed into quite a fairly good rhythm and then eventually lead player.
Yes.
Until such time as I managed to meet up with some guys I was working with and had the same interest, and we formed our own band. You know, we went on the road in the UK.
Okay.
This was really getting interesting stuff now because the Beatles were big time, the Who and
Yes.
Cream and all these
Yes.
guys were kind of coming through the ranks.
And you got to
We
play
were-
with these guys. It was something.
Well, that's right. We
Yeah.
were on a circuit,
Yeah.
a university circuit and a club circuit where we would be a support band to the
That's
Kinks
it.
or the Hollies or Moody Blues, those kind of guys, and great experience. Got to know some of these people really well. The Hollies and some even the not quite the great big name bands, but the lower down bands were really friendly people.
Yes.
They showed you things, and they weren't afraid to open up and tell you about their tips and things, you know.
And I mean, you played with Elton John.
Well, it wasn't Elton John then.
His
It was
name
Rod
was
Stewart. I mean, it was what's his name again?
Dwight. Reg Dwight.
Reg Dwight. He was.
His name was
He was a
Reggie
sideman.
Dwight.
Yes, he was a sideman. He was a keyboard player.
Keyboard
With
player.
Long John Baldry.
Yes.
And he was a
my God,
miserable
that is
fella.
fascinating. Yes, apparently he was.
He wasn't friendly at all. Long John Baldry had this kind of band. Who were kind of a get-up band. Every time you saw them, there was a different guy on stage with them, you know.
Okay.
All these London session musicians kind of thing. And Elton John was one of them, or Reg Dwight was one of them. Mick Fleetwood on the drums and different people. All these guys came
Okay.
and went. Peter Barden's on the keyboards.
Yeah.
And they were all friendly people, except this keyboard player was real kind of offish. Didn't get on
What
with him
was
at
his
all.
problem, do you think?
I don't
what
know.
was his
No
problem?
idea. Well, I guess we've all seen it since. He has
Yes.
massive insecurity problems, I think, so I
Yes.
wouldn't know that well. But
Yes.
he didn't communicate too well. But the best of the lot was Rod Stewart. You know, he was just a stunner, man. We played
He's a
with him about
man's
3 or 4
man.
times.
You know, he's just a people's person. He's great.
Exactly. And one of our greatest highlights, but claims to fame again, was we were doing the circuit and we had this PA system which was built in Stoke by a real audio electronics
File.
expert.
Yeah.
It was a huge black box with this ugly horn at the top of it, and he had a BBC leak amplifier, and the sound was absolutely perfect, but it was ugly as heaven. So we were playing one day with Rod Stewart's Shotgun Express, I think it was, and we went on first, and we were playing away and did our little thing, you know. Next minute, knock on the door. Remember when we used to have dressing rooms in the old
Yes.
days?
Those were the
He come-
days, darling.
He come knock on the door, Rod Stewart. He come, hello fellas, well done, beautiful, well done. That was really good. You got something there. Excellent, excellent. By the way, can we borrow your PA? That's how good it was, man.
That's that's how it goes, baby. I love it. What a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that kind of went on for a while. We went to Germany and usual up and down the UK, backwards and
Europe.
forwards in the back of the van, pushing it through the snow, all kinds
God,
of weather
yes.
and stuff, you know.
And it broke down
And
a
then,
few times, I'm sure.
Then I saw an advert in the local newspaper for a guitarist, and I didn't know who it was from, but it looked very interesting, really. So I thought, well, let's see what happens. And I applied for it, and I only found out afterwards it was the Hedgehoppers. And this was a UK band,
Yes.
Hedgehoppers Anonymous,
Yes.
who'd had a hit single. It's called
Yes.
Good News Week.
Wow.
Big hit in the charts. And by this time, they were off the scene for a year or two, but they were still at a big name. So I thought, oh, let's go for it. As did every
Yeah.
guitarist in Stoke, just about. They all applied for the job. I got it because my songs. The manager said, "We like your songs. You're in." I wasn't the best
And
guitar player.
yeah, but that didn't matter.
Mm.
So let's talk about your songs. Was the first song you recorded with them, was that called Hey?
Over here, we came over here.
Okay, so how did
Yeah,
the transition from there to South Africa? Because you came here to Durban, of all
that's right.
places.
We were touring the UK. We were touring Europe, and I was in this band, the
Yes.
Hedgehoppers, which also used to double as Sandy Shore's backing group.
Okay. You see, those days they used to do that.
So
Nobody was
they were called
precious, yeah.
the Streamliners. Used to back Sandy Shore, and
Okay.
on a given occasion, there would be the Hedgehoppers opening up the bill, and then the Streamliners would back Sandy Shore
Yeah.
with this manager who was the guitar player on guitar.
Okay.
So I never actually got to back Sandy Shore. I used to sit backstage and twiddle my thumbs because the guitar player manager was also the
He was going to play.
organised the passports. He did the management, did the hotels, he did the whole kind of. So he doubled up as everything, But I didn't get to play there.
Right. Oh, that's
So
so
then
funny though. So
we
then
got
you moved.
a call from an agent in London saying, "Listen, this guy's in South Africa looking for a name band," and the Hedgehoppers were a name band at that time
Yes.
still. So we said,
Yes.
"Okay, where's South Africa? Where is it?"
Yeah.
What did we know?
Well, what did
So
anybody know? People
yeah,
still don't know where it is.
so we said yes, we're in, and we took the next flight. We landed in Durban, completely unknown to us what was going to be ahead of us,
And
and
boy, there was going to be something ahead of you. Jules, have we got a photo of the Hedgehoppers? I think we've got some photos of that. Um, Such trendy guys,
ah,
Where was
now
that?
this is actually on the Esplanade in
Ah, in
Durban.
Durban.
And that's the
Oh,
first time we set foot in Durban, right there.
wow.
And there's
How
our little
special.
welcoming committee with the banners and some of the girls, and it was quite a nice,
I think
quite,
that's delightful.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
There was another photo. There you go. Was that the album or was that a cover
This
of
one
something?
came. This one came as, if you like, Mark II, because we had a
Okay.
tragedy within the band,
Yes. Yes. So
and this
was
became
that the
Mark II, if you
singer?
like.
Okay, so the singer that sang Hey, who sang
This is
Hey?
him. It's right here. That's him, right there in the middle.
And what happened to him?
Well, he's still alive. He's the guy who sang the song. But the
Okay.
previous guy you saw standing outside the hotel in Durban,
Yes.
that's Phil. Phil was
Phil.
killed in a road crash.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. Well, but
very sad
Phil was
time.
the singer before.
That's right. He came over
That's
from the
why I
UK.
got
Yeah,
mixed up. Yeah, because I
yeah,
remember Phil was with you. So he had a
mm,
car accident in Durban.
yeah. On the way
Dreadful.
to Swaziland, in fact, yeah. Car
Really.
overturned. Very sad
Oh,
time.
that is very sad when a member of your band,
It is.
well, you know what
We're seeing
happens.
now. We're seeing now that it hurts every day. I see musicians locally, and it hurts. But when it's
The,
on your own doorstep, it's even worse.
it is on your own doorstep, and it is also about musicians. We're like a big club. We're a clan.
Exactly. Of
Musicians
course.
are a clan. Even if I don't see
Yeah.
you for 10 years, 20 years, when I do see you, you're like my man. Hi, Mick. It's beautiful to see. I love you. And there's all
Yeah.
that camaraderie. And
Our
when
paths
somebody
keep crossing.
goes, yes, they
Yeah.
do. They keep crossing. And when you don't see someone for a while, and then you hear something's happened to them, it's
Oh,
devastating.
yeah.
It really, it gives us a bloody good smack in the face. And that's life. You know, we live, we die. I want to listen to that song. I love that song. Whenever I hear that song, it's like one of those summer's day,
Yeah.
driving in your car,
Yeah, I wrote
smoking a
this,
cigarette.
I was 22 when I wrote this song, 22 years old.
22 years old. Did you
No,
always know you were a good songwriter?
no,
You didn't.
still don't.
That's the thing. That's the damn thing. Listen to this song. It's spectacular.
Hey, I've got nothing to do today. Hey, I think it's time that I got round to say. Anyway, we'll see just what happens to me. Or shall I say we? Hey, we've been around for too long to stray. Hey, can I ask you to stay for a while? You never know, maybe you want to stay and never away. How many lies does it take just to be in love again? How can it be a mistake? Things wrong now were so right then. Hey, it's not so often I feel this way. Hey, please help me to look for the way. I'm sure it's there with you, lying here by my side. Will help you decide. How many lies does it take just to be in love again? How can it be a mistake? Things wrong now were so right then. Hey, I've got nothing to do today. Hey, I think it's time that I got round to say. Anyway, we'll see just what happens to me. Or shall I say we? Hey, I've got nothing to do today. Never away. Hey, shall I say we? Hey, I've got nothing to do today. Never away. Hey.
Yeah,
Spot
cool.
on.
Thanks.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's a
nice
good
one.
song. Were you singing that? Did you sing that one?
Well, that was Alan. That was Alan singing.
That was Alan. What's his name?
Alan Dutton.
Okay. Because it sounds very much like your voice. You know that, eh?
Yeah, I sang it for him and he kind of got it nailed.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we've got Grant Tregellis saying hi.
Hey, Grant. Wonderful
Grant.
guitar player, yeah.
Absolutely. Love him. Trudy K. Wilma Christmas Brits. You are my rock star. Virtual hug. Tony Gaza. Again. Love you, Mick. One of the best and our teacher. Again, Scott
Thank you.
Engelbreth saying hi again. Loves our jamming times together. Janet Miller. Hi, Janet. Nice to have you here. Ollie. It sounds like the bit of the early 60s. Ollie's from Germany also. In the West Midlands called Brumbeat. Yeah, those were the days. That was the sound of 60s West Midlands called Brumbeat.
Yeah.
It was very, very that UK sound. So, you guys are in South Africa. You've had this big hit, and you get a SARI award, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, that was a big surprise.
Yeah.
There was about 10 or 15 professional bands all lined up for that award, and we just didn't have a look in. You know, we didn't think we were close.
Well, I think it's just like coming back to a new country, and it just took off. So you stayed in South Africa and you started working.
That's right. We unfortunately, prior to that single, I've mentioned Phil was killed. We went back to the UK, came back with Alan, who didn't enjoy South Africa as much as we did. And so we finally parted company. And it was a bit of a disintegration of the head choppers, pretty much, once that
Really?
happened.
So then what did you do?
He couldn't, I went back to the UK.
Okay.
Went back to the UK, struggled around in London,
Yes.
you know,
Didn't you carry on?
struggled around in London, playing in the pubs and trying to make it big, with different various musicians and things. But it's very difficult, tough time. And eventually I had enough. I thought, oh no, I'm going back to South Africa. So I
Yeah.
came back in 1975.
But this time, did you have a family with you yet?
I had a wife, but I
That's-
hadn't started a family now.
Okay, so you had a wife that you'd met obviously in the UK,
Yeah,
and then you guys came back here.
yeah. And believe it or not, we walked into a crazy situation.
Yes.
We arrived in Johannesburg and we were going to go to Cyro's,
Yes.
the nightclub in Johannesburg where all the musicians kind of meet and play and,
Yes.
And on that day, as we were approaching Cyro's, there was this big crowd gathering in Fox Street. And what's going on? She says, oh, there's some crazy guy shooting the place up in the embassy or something.
Oh my God.
So we're still watching this stuff, and the people were standing around, the bullets were flying. Thought, I don't know. It was Fox Street Siege, if you recall.
Oh my God. Yes.
So we thought, hang on, this isn't going to suit us very well. We get out of the firing line. Let's go down to
Get out
Cyro's
of
and have a beer.
Dodge. And you ended up at Cyro's doing.
Yeah. So we walked in there, and it was cocktail hour. In those days, the bands used to play from 5 until 7
That's
in the
it.
afternoons, and all these old office workers would take their secretaries and friends and things to have a few drinks and then go home and miss the traffic. So that was
Yes.
a big session in those days. All the guys would get together, chat after work, girlfriends and stuff, real party time, Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Mick.
And so we were in Cyro's. I sat down. I hadn't been there 30 minutes, and this band started playing Ballyhoo. Wow, fantastic. Paul de Villiers, Cedric, Fergie, Derek,
Wow.
Atty. Big names now. Well, I knew a
Yes.
couple of them prior to that. And as soon as they finished playing, Paul de Villiers ran over to me because he recognised me from the Hedgehoppers. We played with
Oh
them
my
in Pretoria
goodness.
previously. Shook my
Wow.
hand and said, Mick, what are you doing in Johannesburg? I'm just arrived back. He said, oh, great. Do you want to join the band?
Just like that. Oh
That was
my
it.
God. That's
Welcome.
perfect.
Welcome. Do you want to join? I said, what do you mean join? You've got a perfect band here, man. As it turns out, Derek had decided to leave the band. The vocalist, lead vocals.
Yes, I remember.
So there was an opening. There's an opening for me there, so I walked straight in.
Unbelievable. It was Derek
Timing.
Drahan. Derek Drahan left then.
That's right, Derek, he walked out,
Yeah. But was he playing guitar?
He wasn't playing guitar, no, he was a lead vocal.
Only doing
Ah.
vocals.
Yeah.
And then did Stuart Irving join after that?
That was long after. Came much
Okay.
later. From then on, I joined and started rehearsing, and we ended up in Pretoria, in Silverton, and Oklahoma, and
Oh my God, just got to talk about those Ballyhoo
Bumpers.
days because, everybody knows those years in Ballyhoo years. I mean, wow.
it was a good time. We were a very, very good live band. We worked very, very
Very
hard.
good.
It was well rehearsed. The big difference between the Hedgehoppers and Ballyhoo was meticulous. Every single note had to be perfect, every harmony perfect, every break, every breath. All together, it was just perfect. Whereas the Hedgehoppers was rough and tumble, guitar
Yeah.
band, 3-piece. I was it. There was no keyboard. I was lead guitar was it. And all the time there was Steppenwolf and the Cream and
Yes.
all those beautiful old guitar songs you could get by. So we had plenty of time for ad-libbing and just chunking away for half an hour on guitar solos and blues and rock and stuff. Ballyhoo
But
was a
not in
completely different
Ballyhoo.
picture. Not in Ballyhoo. Not perfect
Yeah.
every night, same time every night, on time, in time, finished.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's quite a thing. South African bands in those days were extremely well put together. They were very slick. Yeah, you had the bands that were just the jamming kind of guys and stuff. But still, Mick, I mean, when you think about bands at that time, who were the guys that you were playing with, the bands at the time?
In that band, in Ballyhoo?
Yeah, who did you play around with there? Because there was tons of other bands around. Who were the bands that were on the scene at the time?
Okay. We were up against people like Louis Greef, Omega Limited.
Omega, yes,
Killer
with
guitars, Jimi
Reggie
Hendrix
on
style.
bass.
That's right. Sounds of Brass, Music Corporation, The Bats,
Phew.
Peanut Butter
Yeah.
Conspiracy, Rising
Yes.
Suns,
Yes.
Focus, with Mutt Langer.
Wow.
Big
Those were
time,
bands.
big pro
They
bands.
were very, very good musicians. You know, it's a thing. Like South Africans always had a chip on their shoulder. They don't think they're good enough. But my God, we've had good musicians in this
Oh
country.
man,
Oh,
I
my.
know?
Good bands, good musicians. You know? Oh, let's see what Danny DeVette. I love the first Ballyhoo album, Air Incident, is a magnificent opening track. Yes, hold that up.
There we
Shortly
go.
after the record came out, a group of us bought a ticket for an Elvis impersonator to see Ballyhoo as the guest at the Coliseum.
There we go.
That is just gorgeous. I love that.
Yeah,
Yo.
that's right. We were on tour.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it.
I pretty much
Oh,
wrote the
my.
first two albums, for Ballyhoo. There's no
Yeah.
other writers in the band. It was really difficult. I've never had a soulmate. All the time I've been playing, I never had that soulmate that I could
Play with.
lean on. All by myself, writing.
Yes. And
Here we go.
we're going to play Rock and Roll Party. Ballyhoo, come on.
This is our
Mick
first single.
Matthews wrote
Yeah.
this. Woohoo!
Hey, come on everybody, I'll tell you where we're going. We're going to rock and roll party. If you wanna come along, you can find it.
Find it,
Don't be late, 'cause it's
'cause you're
all
running started.
rock and roll.
Woo!
I'm gonna run, can't stop. I'm gonna
Yeah.
to the party and I'm really gonna rock it from a tree. That's cool. We're gonna get it all together, start and rock from the top. Rock and roll party. If you wanna come along, you can find it.
Find it,
Don't be late, 'cause it's all
already started. Rock and roll. Woo! What a killer track.
Yeah, great.
There was you, Mick Matthews. Was Fergie singing there? That was Fergie's voice.
That's Fergie,
Everybody.
on lead
Yeah,
vocals.
that was Fergie.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
good
was
singer, good
Fergie.
lad, man.
She's great guy. Hilarious guy. Oh,
Well, we
my
crossed.
goodness.
That was about the time we were just getting going when we met you. About 77, we appeared on a massive event in Cape Town. Oh, it was in Woodstock, and it was called Woodstock.
Yes.
Remember it?
I remember it very well. That Cloud joined.
Massive event, indoor,
I
in
know.
the Good Hope Centre. That's the only time that Ballyhoo was above Cloud on the bill, because it was alphabetical.
Well, we went on tour with you guys for a while.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
I loved that. It was like, for me, it was my first proper, like, foray into the music
the road.
business. I was such an innocent. I'd been on the road with Bobby Angel. I'd done a tour with him when I was 18. And then,
Okay, wow,
you know,
right.
started getting from there, you know, moving along. But, oh my gosh, when I tell you, that was such fun for me. Just being
Beautiful
with
how
real
it
bands.
evolves. It evolves and evolves. You just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
But we all did, you know, we all
Yeah.
did our big thing. And, we started going overseas. It was just the luck of the draw that our song got picked up. But we recorded one of your songs.
That's right. That's right, yeah. Dead Telephone.
Play some
Dead
of it.
Telephone.
Do you remember
I
it?
think I've
on.
got it, yeah.
Play it. I think it's brilliant.
I think...
Hanging on a dead telephone. Yeah.
that's it, yeah.
I can't remember.
You never know when I call you lately up on the telephone. You're the one who's playing cool. I'm the one that you're home, hanging on the end of the line. Go on and pick it up. I'm hanging on the dead telephone. Pick it up, hanging on. Pick it up, hanging on.
Pick it up.
I'm hanging on the dead telephone. Pick it up,
Pick it up.
hanging on. Pick it up,
Pick it up.
hanging on.
Pick it up.
Don't keep me any longer. Hanging
Hanging on the dead telephone. I remember it. Oh my God. Yes. You know what?
Cool.
In Cloud, we actually used to do a lot of local songwriters. We used to take a lot of songs from local songwriters. That one was definitely, and it's almost like, do you know how when we were starting, the Police had started, that band.
Yeah. That's the
And
influence, you're right,
I
yeah.
was an
Yeah.
absolute disciple of the Police. When that first album, Outlandos d'Amour, came out, I nearly had a heart attack. This was my music. And it was
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun,
Correct, yeah.
It was totally a Police line. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't care if I'm doing this song. That's totally out of the Cloud thing. But I want to do this song. So it was just definitely, it was a special song for us. Thank you,
It's the
Mick,
right
for
time,
writing
yeah.
that song for us. Yeah, it was awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I'm just seeing who's visiting us. Lynn Nicholson. Hello, Lynn. You will watch this. Yes, it is recorded. You just go onto YouTube and you can watch. Dougie Ramage, downstairs at Cyro's, burri and smashed potatoes, 50 cents.
Cyro's
Those were the
again,
days.
yeah.
Greg Georgiades. Hello, Greg, my darling.
Greg, beautiful, yeah.
What a beautiful guy. What a beautiful,
I
beautiful
saw Greg
guy.
a few times, man, with the Aquarian Quartet. Beautiful.
Whew. Greg, he's got my vote as well. Dougie Ramage, Ballyhoo playing at the Nish Laser Park in February. What is
Okay.
this? Now?
That's an advert
They're
coming up.
Coming up. Well, it's
Looks
definitely
like.
not the old Ballyhoo. It's the Ballyhoo of the last few years.
That's right, yeah.
The Nosh Laser Park. Okay, so Ballyhoo years were quite a long stretch, eh?
Yeah. I did about 4 or 5 years, and it was very, very successful.
Yes.
Towards the end, we started drifting into, away from what I thought was the mainstream of rock and roll,
Yes.
Yellow and Status Quo and Queen and that kind. We enjoyed doing that stuff,
Yes.
and then it became very, very disco-ish. And I'm
Okay.
not a disco player. I didn't want to play.
Yeah.
I was playing rhythm all night, ding-a-dick, ding-a-dick, for 10 minutes, and Ma Baker, ba-da-ba-da-da, oh
Yes, I
yeah,
know.
Rasputin, and it was too much for me, man. I made myself very unpopular. And I said, come on, guys, we don't need to do this. But they were right, and I was wrong,
Well,
So,
it's not that they were right and you were wrong. I think they were playing to the crowd. They
That's
were
right,
playing
that's
what
right.
was requested
Correct.
at
That's right.
in residencies. We all had to
That's
play
right.
all that shit, We had
Yes,
to.
that's what it demands. They demand
And it
that's
demanded it of us. I mean, we
That's
sang
right.
some. I had to sing some crappy stuff as well. But generally, I guess I was lucky in my cover bands that I could sing some decent stuff. But it was also like, she's a maniac on the floor. And I'm like, is this me doing this? And I'm jumping up and down like her on the, in Flash dance. And I'm thinking, is this what it's all about? And yes, it
Well,
is. Yes,
That's the
it
fine
is.
line. That's the
Yes.
fine line. That's the fine line. Can you satisfy yourself with your material that you regard as okay, and also sacrifice your soul for singing the Rasputins and stuff, and that's the
You
fine
know,
line.
we've all had to do some of it in our lives. The sellout thing. It really doesn't bother me because I've never had to do it. I've never had to do the casting couch thing. So for me,
Well,
that was
well,
something,
well
you
done
know.
to you. I take my hat off to you, man, because I remember you went to America for a long time,
Yes.
and when I saw you when you came back, and I firmly believed you'd be saying, "Hello there, Mick, how y'all doing?" And stuff. But you didn't. You had your
No.
perfect, beautiful Queen's English accent. You retained it for all those years. I
Yes.
admire you for that.
Well, absolutely. I was not an American, even though I've got an American passport and I'm American citizen now, but I'm definitely a South African. I took there are still a few things that people say to me now. Hey, you sound a bit American when you say that word, like American. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe. No, to me, it's never been important. To me, and I think to you, and that's why I relate so much to what you're saying, Mick. It's the music is everything.
Yes,
That's all it
throughout,
is. The flitty,
throughout.
flatty, flonky stuff, the glam, the ju. For me, being in this business also at my age, I should have had a facelift and tons of work done and stuff. And it's just not me.
Well, that's
I
right.
don't, for me, it's
Stuck to
like
your guns.
the,
Yes.
the music is everything. If you don't
Stay
want to
true.
look at me while I'm singing, that's also fine,
Yeah.
you know. But
Well,
and songwriters as well, Mick, songwriters.
that's pretty
We
much it.
I'm
When I
happy
when
to be
I
in the background.
me too. That's why I actually that song I just played you now was my
Yes.
first and last recording in South Africa. I left the music
What?
business completely. I just walked away for various reasons. You know what I'm talking about. You've been through it worse than I have.
I know
But
what you mean.
I
Yes.
didn't. I wasn't prepared to put up with that kind of treatment from anybody.
Yes.
And my self-respect and my self-esteem was worth more to me than having to
Yes.
cower and kowtow. So I just walked away from the business completely. I carried on being a musician, made a living as a pro, but I never made another recording. That was the last
Until
one.
until
Well, just private stuff. I've got my sons. My sons are very, very good. They help me with in the studio. Aidan and William. They've got a little studio, Tycho Beats, and they help me with some recordings.
that's
So
awesome.
I'm not in the business. It's in the family.
Yes, it's in the family, but once a songwriter, always a songwriter, Mick, and you will write and you will even if you say, like right now, I'm just pulling all my stuff together and I want to record all of it, it has to be done. It's for
That's right.
posterity.
That's right.
Just
That's right.
even if it's your posterity or your
Correct.
family's
Correct.
posterity,
Correct. Not to make
it
money.
must be done. And honestly,
Yes.
that is why I did this album now that I just did. It's a collection. They call it
Beautiful.
the Essential Collection. It was just songs I chose. Some people knew and some people didn't know. And they were just like, wow, where's
Well
this
done.
song from? Oh,
Well
yeah,
done.
I did this in Nashville in 2016. And it
Your
was
life
like, oh,
story.
never heard it before. So
Yeah.
you went to Nashville, didn't you?
Yeah. I went over last year as a guest of my nephew who lives in Atlanta, neighbouring state,
Yes.
Tony Maddox.
Yes.
He was the head honcho in broadcasting in America, and he took me over there, and we had a crazy night watching the hillbilly stuff and passed out at 3 o'clock in the morning and did the hillbilly thing.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
And did you get to see some good bands and stuff?
yeah, oh, the best, man. I didn't see the big names. I just saw the row on the strip.
No,
Those
but you
beautiful
don't
pickers,
need.
man.
You don't need to
Oh,
even see the big names. You just walk down that row,
just
Broadway,
breathless. Just
and
breathless,
you
man.
just
Yeah,
see great musicians. And
pickers. Beautiful.
that's the thing about
Oh,
Nashville is that it's so inspiring. When I
well,
was
I
there,
pictured you there,
I'd get
actually.
inspired. Yeah,
I
I
pictured
love
you
it there.
there. I pictured
Love
you
it.
there because I saw some of the girls who were there. I thought, Cindy can do this. I'm not telling her, I'm not making this up. I saw this girl singing, she's named Cricket Davis. And I thought, Cindy can do this, man. 10 times over, you know, in the middle of Nashville.
The middle of Nashville. I know. I've done a few trips there. I think I will go back because, you know, you just believe that your music's got some relevance to it, you know.
Yeah.
What are you going to show us? I know you want to show us something. Wow. Wow. That's a beauty.
Tom Petty, 12-string
Sure.
Rickenbacker.
Rickenbacker, I knew it.
I know you
That's
play a
a
12-string as well, you know. And
Yes.
the people,
but
we know what a 12-string is. The public don't know what a 12-string is at all.
But
They just see, why
an
have you got all
electric
these funny knobs
12-string.
on the end here? Why have you got all these funny little knobs on the end here? What's all that all about, you know?
Oh my gosh.
They don't know. It's 12 strings and they're aligned in groups of 2 to give you a unison sound.
Play something. We want to hear that.
And this sound is quite definitive. You'll know it. That's a 12 string.
That is crazy. I bet they're gonna be there. Love it. Got brass in pocket. That is it. Chrissy Hines stuff, yeah. The 12 string, you know, it's not often
So
you
there you
hear
have
those
it.
electric 12 strings. You don't hear them a lot. Jimmy Page had one, you know, that he played the double guitar. He had the 12 string and the 6 string that he played with in the famous song, "There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold." Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
12 string.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6,
the 12 string.
6 and 12 both
6
together.
and the
Jimmy
12,
Page, yeah.
both
Yeah.
on double guitar. Yeah.
Well, people don't know. They think, well, why has these guys got 6 guitars and why are they playing all these guitars?
So they've all got different
the pop-
sounds.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We know. But when guys have got 6 guitars on stage and they're handing different guitars around, they don't know what's going on. And listen to this. This is an open tuning, which
I
is
love that.
a set
it an E?
chord. It's in D.
D. But that guitar sounds. The guitar sounds like a dobro.
It's tuned that way. It's the way I play it. I
Yeah.
pick like a banjo. I pick like a banjo
Banjo
almost. You know.
sound. Definitely dobro banjo. Woo! Mick!
Yeah.
Freaking love it. Don't stop. No, we're going to be going all kinds of things. So, when was the Millar Matthews band? That was with Bernie Millar. So
Okay.
obviously I've got a history with Bernie because I used to go to Cyro's when I was just starting with Clout and watch Circus. What a band!
Beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
band.
Top
One of the
notch,
top-
man. Yeah.
Rock bloody
Exactly.
bands in this country. Every
Yeah.
player in that band was like
Went on to greatness almost.
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Yes. Ron Bertel, sadly, he's passed away, but Ron did amazing things.
Beautiful.
Ron played with Clout. Ron
Gary.
started Hotline. Then
Gary,
Gary
yeah.
Finsailed. He joined
Yeah, beautiful.
Jaluka.
Wally. Yeah.
He's been around. Sandy Robbie. Sandy's living
Yeah.
in Australia now.
Oh,
And,
really? I didn't know.
Yeah, he's left a while ago. And it's Wally Cullis. Brilliant,
Yeah, beautiful.
brilliant drummer. So, yeah, they all did. So, I remember the Millar Matthews band. Was it a full band or was it just the two of you?
It was a good attempt to reconstruct a kind of a supergroup kind of image, if you like. Glenda
Yes.
from Clout.
Yes.
Also Wally.
Yes.
Trevor Ellis from Copperfield. Bernie.
Okay.
Myself.
Very
On
good.
paper, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But economically and time-wise and everything, business-wise, as soon as we went near the business, I go, ooh, you know. So it didn't take off.
It didn't take off.
No.
Were the people, I have to ask this because sometimes it's just the mix of people that just doesn't make it work.
Chemistry was okay.
Good.
Chemistry was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention any names, but it's interference from outside.
Yes. You don't have to mention names.
I'll leave it at that.
We know all the noodlers. The noodlers, the ones that have just continued to do their work and try and blah blah blah. Okay. Jade again. Tycho Beats Studios. We like that. Ooh, Renee Smith. Legendary Man. How's that?
I don't know
My
about
dear
that.
Marion, of course there's tea, my darling. She asked if there's tea. Every week she wants to know what I'm drinking, if I've got tea, and she always loves to comment on my cups.
Is that the tea they serve in the restaurants nowadays in the lockdown?
No, it's my own
Oh.
tea. Oh, that could be good. Lynn Nicholson, thank you so much. Appreciate very much as well.
Oh, Lynn.
Yeah, so we got some good people out here. Greg, music is a beautiful language that is understood by all, but spoken by few. I love that.
Well, Lynn
Yes.
is one of my new acquaintances this latest couple of years. When you ask where are they now,
Yes.
I can tell you where they are.
Where are they?
They being me. I'm in a place called Bracken Downs. We're on down south.
Ah,
Bracken Downs.
got it. Well
We're on down
there.
south.
Dun, dun. Sultans of Swing, baby. Woo! Woo!
We're on down south. Bracken Downs.
Brackendales. I love that. That's
what I live-
hysterical, Mick.
These people who are calling in, they're my newfound friends. I've kind of
Okay.
found a home in the Brackenhurst
In
Bowls Club.
Brackenhurst.
So I play bowls,
Okay.
darling.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Do you
Beautiful.
know
So-
what? Everybody just does something. I mean, I do yoga and it's like whatever, we all do something and we
It's
all,
beautiful.
we all just, I don't know. Some people still like to just sit on their asses and just dream of a life. And some people just live a life. And no, it's not judging anybody. We all choose to do what we choose to do and how we choose to live our lives. I want to play that other video where you're playing that slide guitar. I just love that. That's spectacular. It's so cool.
Oh, this is from a way back, yeah.
Was that a TJ's?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And we've got that other one where you're playing slide.
That's at the start of this. That's at the beginning of that video. This is it, yeah.
I want to hear that. Sorry, I made you stop, but I love that. Yeah, yeah. Woo! Yes. fine player. You're a fine player, Mick.
Thank you.
So let's talk. Is there anything in your life if you look back, would you say you've missed? Was there something that you missed that you should have got onto and you just didn't, or thought about it later and thought, nah, why didn't I do that, or whatever?
Probably, I've got mixed feelings. I should have probably gone into studio work and done more on that side, recording wise. But having said that, I probably would have ended up with the people I didn't want to work with. So in the end, I'm happy with the decisions I've made. Yeah.
Well, that to me is what we really want to hear about, because when we get to a certain stage of our lives and we sort of don't give a shit anymore, because we only give a shit about the good stuff, the stuff that matters. So, you know, like, what matters to you right now in your life? What matters?
Well, I've just come back from the South Coast, where I was seconded, if you like, or recruited into being a courier for a little organization called Monkey Helpline. They do rescue of monkeys which have been injured in accidents, electric fences, or humans, or dogs and things. They get run down by cars, etc. And these monkeys have to be ferried to a given place. And I was one of those couriers who took the injured monkey to these people in Monkey Helpline. And they took them to the vet, who worked pro bono. They recovered them and eventually rehabilitated them back into the wild. So I enjoyed that for quite a while.
That is so divine. What a thing. I know we've got a video about that. We're going to check that video out just now, not now, because I still want to ask you a few things. So you're teaching guitar?
Yeah, still teach.
All styles?
Not everything from gospel music to country to blues to delta to rock and roll to fingers. Not so much classical. I'm not the great classical player. I saw Tessa Ziegler last week, and
did you watch that?
So I'm not in that class. I do very basic finger style, and then pass them on to a proper teacher. You know, if they want to pursue classical, but otherwise I teach them right up to blues and rock and everything they need to know.
I'd like to come and do some delta with you, and a bit of slide.
Yeah, it's straightforward. It's just perseverance. It's actually quite simple. It's perseverance.
I'm a lazy bug. I really, if I can't get it straight away, I'm just like, if I can't get it, I get so frustrated. Because music always came so easy to me that when I can't get it, I'm like, I can't do it.
Well, the agony with a slide is it does make a fool of you early on. It does.
It's going to make a big fool, and I've got a slide. I've got all the equipment. I just don't have the ability.
Well, I can help you with that.
I would love that, Mick. I think that's a great thing. I'm trying to better myself in the stage that we're in right now, where there's no work. Especially this, and I'm even doing singing lessons right now because I want to sing better always. And I think anybody who's doing anything can always be better at it. And I'm not talking about you forcing yourself. I'm going to be the best in the world. There's no such thing. Shut up. Don't be silly. Just be the best you can. And if you feel that some coaching or some learning will help you, go for it. And that's what you're doing. Right. You're doing this for people. You are teaching them. You're coaching them. You're learning them. And in that, you learn things as well.
Of course.
And I think that's also spectacular, that you see things like some of my pupils, my singing pupils, I'll see her do something and I go, wow, that's pretty cool, I'm going to take some of that. Hey?
I went off there. I lost you.
I think you did for a moment, but I'm not lost forever. I'm always here eventually. I'm always here eventually.
Okay.
So you're compiling an album of your original stuff.
Yes. Original stuff from very early days. I'm going to redo some of the old ones that I did with Ballyhoo, and
Yes.
present a new face to some of the songs that are all precious.
Yes. You should
Pretty
do
much
Dead
like you've done.
Telephone. Yeah. You just the stuff that you really. I want to. I mean, mine was going to be a double album, and we said, okay, hold on. We'll do 50. We'll just do 15 songs to start, and then we'll do part 2
Good.
later.
Exactly. Correct.
Because there's so much of it that you go, oh my God, I love that song. Oh, that song is a good one. And there's some cloud songs that people didn't even know that well that were my favorite
Yeah.
cloud songs, you know. So if I had to ask you right here today, you've had a quite an exciting life. You've had some fame. You've had bits and pieces of everything. What was it all that you imagined?
Oh, good question. Sometimes it's very disillusioning. So
Yes.
that side of things was completely took me by surprise. It wasn't the romantic yellow brick road that we all kind
No.
of dreamt of, you know.
No.
But at the end of the day, I'm very, very satisfied and very happy that the people I've met and the places I've been and played and camaraderie, you can't buy it, man.
You can't buy that. The experiences. Nobody can take an experience away from you. Once
Yeah.
it's done, it's done. It's
Yeah.
in you. It's in your DNA, you know.
Some very happy times, whole, you know.
Oh, Mick, are you in a good space right now?
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
like to say, where are you right now? Are you in a good space?
Exactly, about a young lady. Well, not so young, but I didn't tell her how old she is. A new lady in my life, Vilma.
Okay.
And,
Oh,
so
is that
we've got
Vilma?
family, got grandchildren, beautiful grandchildren from my sons and daughter. Got two twin boys and a daughter.
Wow.
They've given me grandchildren, so I'm well on my way to happiness.
So you've got a good family life.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
music is thriving because you're working
Yeah.
on new stuff.
yeah,
You're still teaching and imparting knowledge. I think everything is just exactly where it should be in your life, Mick.
yeah. That's right. I'm in control on that one. Yeah,
I love that. That is a very special thing. And I think that's a perfect place for us to kind of say goodnight to everybody. This show is important to me because I get to speak to people like Mick, and we get to talk about his journey, and we get to talk about music and life and all kinds of things that happen. There are so many people that are watching us, and I want to just say thanks to all of you out there who've been watching. Willem Bibi, we are going to play the monkey song for you. Oh, Tapelo.
this is a song I wrote particularly for
For
the
the
helpline.
monkey rescue. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Lloyd Nicholson, Mick has been an inspiration to me through who he is and his music.
My friends have come to say goodbye as well.
Yes, he has come to say goodbye. Hi. Hello, everybody. Your whole family have come to say goodbye. I think I should interview everybody, including the children. I want to know where you began, little one. Nice to see you all. Hi. The Mick Matthews Continuum. Woohoo!
That's it.
It's been divine to have you on the show, and I'm glad you guys were there listening. Did you enjoy the show? We're going to play out with the monkey song. We can't wait for the monkey video.
It's by Mickey and the
Love
Monkey
to
Man.
you all. We like it. And we'll see you
Thank you,
next
Cindy.
week, everybody. Thank you, Mick.
Love to you. Thanks.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Thanks to Discovrtv for doing this. Woo! Woo!
I'm just a monkey swinging in a tree.
you can't love me, don't hurt me, leave me alone. I've lived here for 1,000 years. This is my home. I'm just a monkey trying to survive. Every day it gets harder, trying to stay alive. I'm just a monkey, nowhere left to go. If it wasn't for monkey helpline, I'd be dead and gone. If you can't love me, don't hurt me, leave me alone. I've lived here for 1,000 years. This is my home. Let's swap places for a while.